Hey, good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, that was an easy one. Happy New Year, Pam.
Happy New Year. Maybe we're off to a good start, huh?
We are. And Happy New Year, everybody. So let me move this back a bit. I'm always too close.
I think maybe I'll try the same. There we go.
So, hello, everybody. It's 2021. And I don't know about all of you, but over Christmas, my scammers were, everybody's scammers, my friend requests just went absolutely mad. I just was getting so many more than I would normally get.
They were hot on everybody's trail. I didn't have that many more than I normally did, but the victims, there were just so many more victims coming about. So we know they're ramping it up. We know. And actually, I had told you that I was tallying up the stats and how much people were telling us that they lost. And I'll let everybody know. And I'm sure that this number is beyond very, very low, but just from what we've captured and that I could even convert from the other currency into the United States US dollar. But the tally that I have for 2020, since January 1st of this year, I have calculated $28,357,983. That's shocking enough, but what's really shocking, Ruth, is that it's only from 748 victims. That's the part that's just mind-blowing.
It is, and it's only from people who come to us, and we don't ask everybody. If people want to tell us how much they've lost, well, that's fine. Some people don't want to tell us. Some people will, in the course of the conversation, tell us how much they've sent. So that 28 million is not even all of the victims that we've had to us. That is just the victims that have told us how much they have sent. So 28 million has gone to scammers just through our little site.
Now, there has to be a way to slow this down. We've got to slow this down tremendously. So we've got to all pull our resources together. I mean, essentially, education is key. That's the only way that we're going to get the rest of the world to realize what's going on. It's education. So tell the people that are around you, educate your children as they're growing up, getting ready to be on social media or are already on social media. Teach them what to look out for, because this crime does not appear to be going away.
So what I want to start with today was to tell you all about a conversation, a weird conversation I had with a scammer, with an actual Nigerian. Now,
fine.
He got a bit, annoyed at me because I sort of basically, he sent me the friend request. I put reported fake because I always do, just to be able to report them if I'm on the phone. And so he started to get a bit, he wasn't fake. He was an American soldier. Well, if you look down his profile, and always check every inch of anybody's account, but if you look down, he actually had that, in June, he'd celebrated his birthday at a top hotel in Lagos, Nigeria. So it was a bit of a giveaway. So anyway, we went on to talk. He had a look on my Facebook page and he asked me what Scam United was. And I said, well, if you think about it, it's a bit obvious. So we started to talk about how they scam, basically. And he said he was so charming, and he was trying to be, that he could get anything he liked from a woman. Anything, any information he could get. And I said, well, you wouldn't get anything from me. So he sent me this document. And they start, as soon as they start to talk to you, they start a nice little page for you. So over the course of your conversation, every bit of information they get, they put down on this little document. So it might be just asking you one day, one little question that you give in the course of the conversation. What's your mum's name? I've been to my mum's. What's she called? And they write it all down. So this is the information that he got from this woman who, I can't tell you who she is. She's called Donna. There's plenty of them. So Donna, this Donna, was being scammed. So the first bit of information is her full name. Now, if you think about it, the scammer often says to you, what's your name and where you're from? And the reason they do that is on my Facebook account, it's got my name as Ruth Grover. That's fine. That's my name. But if somebody asks you your name and you have a middle name, you will often put that in. I don't. That's just my full name. But if somebody asks your name, you might say, you know, I'm Ruth Ann Grover or whatever. So they do get your middle name as well when you introduce yourself formally. So with this Donna, I've got her full address, absolute full address. I've got a mother's maiden name. I've got her social security number. I've got the geographical coordinates of her house, because they found her, they've got her address and they've got all the little geographical coordinates of it. I've got a phone number. I've got a full birthday, full date of birth, April 4th, 1992. She's 28. I've got her email address. I've got the password that goes with the email address and the password that goes with the Facebook account.
Yep.
I've got the usernames here. Got it all down here. He gave me it all, so I kept it. Just to tell you about it, I will say. So yes, so I've got all the passwords that she uses. I've got her phone that she uses and basically what she uses on her phone. I've got her MasterCard number. Now, not only have I got the full MasterCard number, I've got that it expires on the second month of 2022, and I've got the security code off the back of that. I've got the company that she works for and the address of the company. I have got that she's 5'6", 161 pounds, and her blood types are all positive. And then she had 2 parcels delivered to her from her scammer. I've got the tracking numbers of those parcels. And finally, she drives a blue Honda. And I've got all the details of those as well. Those details were arrived at through about 6 or 7 months, I think he said it was, chatting just day to day. Then she sort of gave him a credit card to use and things like that. I had a lovely Christmas, thank you. She gave him, you know, a card to use and things like that. But he put this down, and you will all know what I mean, because they work at this. He put this down to him being charming and polite. And how many of you will say to us, we thought he was so charming and polite.
He was so nice. And we keep saying
he was so nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, they're nice for a reason.
You wouldn't give them the time of day. So they have to be nice. That's what this is about, you know?
So this is how he's got from being nice. A complete document for identity theft, complete document of that woman's life. And that's what he's got. She has told him these things. He hasn't hacked anything. She has told him all of these things. So think about it. Just think about it. Why do you give away your information to somebody that's online, even if they're being nice to you? Why would you do it? If somebody knocks on your door and he said, hello, beautiful, I was passing and I saw you and I thought you looked lovely. Can I come in and get to know you? So you let him in, but you wouldn't, but you let him in. And then after you've been talking a little while, you know, you tell him everything. You give him your card number, you tell him your blood group, you tell him everything else. So think about what they are doing with your information. Because 6 months after your scam's finished, you might end up with 3 credit card bills of $30,000 or $40,000 or pounds or whatever. Because they've kept your information, they've kept it a little while, they've used it. Now, this document on Donna is going to go on a Yahoo Boys page, because they've got little groups, and this is all going to be sold. So, and you should never give out your SSN. Your life is in your social security number. But she did. So all I want to say is, when they are talking to you in a very nice, very charming, it is not innocent. They are talking to you like that to get all your information. And you might not think, I've been to my mum's today, Oh yeah, who's your mum? My mum's Mary Smith. Oh yeah, we'll write that down because that's the mother's maiden name, and that gets you a lot as well. So don't think they're being nice. Don't think they're being charming. You are being interrogated. Every time you go on there, you are being interrogated. And you know what? You give it all away.
Yep, easily.
They're
Easily.
not hacking you. You are giving all this away to people that you have never met. I don't care if he says, love you, babe. I don't care if he says, you are the sweetest woman in the world, babe. You know, I've got another one to read, but I'll let Pam have a talk for a while. But I want you to know that every single time you talk to a scammer, they are getting information about you. It might be even, you know, being able to find out where your phone is, things like this. But they are never, ever just saying, hello, how are you? That, hello, how are you? What's your name and where are you from? Is massive. So be careful. We're going to stop this. People are going to stop giving them information. We've decided.
I hope so. I really hope so. And people always say, well, how do we stop this? Or I didn't know this was going to be happening. How about if it's just encompass the idea to stop talking to strangers? That is how you can stop all of this. Just stop talking to strangers. Again, you wouldn't let them come through the front door. Why does everybody feel so safe behind their devices? So just stop speaking to strangers. If they've come about and you don't know them, don't reply. That's how we're going to stop this. And education, spread the word and let people know. So I talked to a victim yesterday, my last one of the year, and I'll read a little bit of hers and explain some of the things that she did. But in a nutshell, she was, and I still continue to say that this is some type of the relationship that a victim has with the scammer. It is, to me, it seems like it is some type of a very strong addiction, very similar to drugs, alcohol, gambling, shopping. It's an addiction. So when I ask victims, you know, when they're asking me, why did this happen? Because you're addicted to this. So when I asked her, she was in a relationship for 3 years and was still in it as I was talking to her yesterday. And God, I hope that she's now out. She's a 55-year-old female, married, miserable in her marriage. How many of you fall under that category? Just married and miserable. So, and again, everybody has their own demons that they're fighting. The loss of a loved one, loss of a friend, they themselves have sickness, in a miserable relationship, whatever the case may be, everybody. I don't know of anybody that's not fighting some sort of a story or demon inside them, keeping joy from their heart. And that's how they fall into this. They get so addicted to the loving friendship that they think they have found in an innocent person when it is not that at all. They are such evil people that will cut you to the core. So this lady, she's 55 years old. She's been in a relationship with General William Garrett. You know, here we go again with, it's a military, it's a 4 or 5-star general. I think one of the most things that I have problems with is the information, the answers are right there on the internet. And I asked her, didn't you do some research? She said, yes. She saw his profile. He's a retired general. So why then is she telling me, well, he's in Afghanistan, he went on the, no, it's not. So I don't know what happens to people's minds when they're going through this. I mean, yes, I went through it myself, but some of it is just, it's so obvious. So she's doing 3 years with him, military, and she's on Social Security, so on a very fixed low income. That falls under a lot of people's category. And she said, well, he didn't get much money from me, and I don't know why. And I asked her, I said, well, did you tell him right up from the beginning, well, look, if you're a scammer, don't ask me for any money because I don't have any to give you? And she goes, well, yeah, I did. Well, there's your reason right there and why he didn't ask for more money. He clipped her for about $1,000 in 3 years. And that's very, very low for a 3-year stint. There was a time where she told him, I'm in financial trouble with my bank, I owe fees and stuff. And he came, he was Mr. Knight in shining armor, came to the rescue, gave her $800 and paid off that debt. And I said, how'd that make you feel? And she says, good. And I said, well, there you go. That was the reason why he gave it to you. Not because he felt like he wanted to do a fun thing for you and he's a good man. There was a purpose under that. So it got her on the hook even more. And then not long ago, he wanted her to get iPhones and send them out to, the military people. He sent her 5 iPhones, which are $1,500 easily a piece. He sent her all of those in separate deliveries. She, of course, didn't have the money to send them out, so he even sent her the $400 fee that it cost for her to ship out. Now, think about it. Phones coming in, he's even going to pay for the shipping. $400, so that's another $2,000. And where did she send them to? All Nigeria. And she's not asking more questions. She did as she was told. A little puppet on a string. Did as she was told. And then, not long ago, he asked her, this is about a year ago, she said, he asked her to open up a bank account. She did it in her name. And then he sent her money to the tune of about $20,000, many deposits going in to her account, and then he instructed her to ship it out in Bitcoin. This is money laundering. And I told her this is money laundering. Thank goodness her cousin works at the post office, saw the very irregular shipment coming from her house. Now the post office is watching her. And the post office probably, not her cousin, even though she is an employee of the post office, but the post office has probably flagged her and maybe even sent her information to the FBI. Who knows? But it's a big, big risk, because when we're talking dealing in stolen merchandise, and these phones are stolen merchandise. Why do I know that? Because the scammers purchased them with stolen money. So now there's another felony charge that's going to go on her. So, and speaking of charges, I had read a really good article about money laundering from the FBI the other day. And just to let you know about the legal ramifications of being caught in money laundering, dealing in stolen merchandise, it's a felony. It could be a 3rd-degree felony all the way down to a 1st-degree felony. It all depends on the dollar amount and the severity of the crime. So I've got some notes here I wanted to talk to you about. A misdemeanor felony charges a minimum of 1 year in jail and $5,000 fine. So when we're talking 1st-degree felonies, we're talking 15 years in prison, and then it could be state probation for 5 to 10 years and a lot of money in fines. And just like I told her, she can't stand in front of a judge bawling her eyes out, saying that she didn't know what she was doing, because actually she did. I asked her, didn't you think something was going on? And well, yeah, I kind of, but I just didn't know how to get out of it. Stop being a puppet on a string. I mean, I don't understand why we're letting people control us without breaking free. And again, it is called an addiction. And I told her, this is what you're going to do. Now it's time to trust me. And I told her if there's anything that she needs to remember and learn from it, it is this. He or they cannot hurt you as long as you do not respond to them. So when they send you messages and they want more, or they're just initially sending a message, they cannot hurt you anymore as long as you do not respond. The second you respond, you let them in and they will destroy you. Period. They will. So I'm hoping this lady has, she told me that she would be blocking him. I told her immediately get to the bank, close that account. It's all in her name. And by the way, all it takes, she said $20,000, she thinks, that she has taken in and moved money out, which is money laundering. So as we started 3 years ago, she told him, I'm on unlimited income. So after 3 years, what was the amount of her services rendered for this relationship to the 5-star general, Mr. Garrett? $31,300. So for all of you that don't have deep pockets, that don't have a good income, that don't have savings account, and you're on a limited income, look at the damage you can do. Look at the damage they can do. So think twice. Just because you don't have any money doesn't mean you cannot be a victim. They're either going to leave you in the wind when you tell them, I don't have any money, or they're going to go, let's see if we can use this person for something else. And as with this lady,
yeah. Can I just address something, Pam? Because a while ago, a lady called Maureen started to put messages up. Now, Maureen, I'd like to address you personally, me to you. We sit and do these, and we've done them a long time now, and we're going to continue to do them every week, and we tell you what's what. So do you know what Maureen's saying? She's talking to somebody, and he wants her to invest or send in Bitcoin, right? Now, Maureen is saying, she's not convinced, so she's not going to do it. Facebook messages is the best way to contact us, because there's always somebody on there. So come to the Facebook page and then come to messages. We sit here and we tell you what's a scammer. We tell you what to do. We tell you to avoid Bitcoin. We tell you to stop talking to them. And what do? You come in our live chat and you say, I'm talking to somebody at the moment and he's wanting me to send Bitcoin. I'm not sending it. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. Because what you are doing, Maureen, is stupid. There is no other word for it. You are talking to a scammer and you are being stupid. So you want to be stupid, fine. But then when he gets all your information, when he hacks you, and when you think it's very clever to sit and talk to scammers, don't come and tell me about it, because I will not be very happy with you. And somebody else that went up, they put a hex on you, and it's black magic. Sorry. It's not. It's you responding to their charm. It's you responding to what they are asking you. Yes, they do black magic. Of course they do black magic. They have temples, they have the oracle, they have all sorts. They have little men dancing around, waving things. They've got, and don't forget, if they're going to go to the oracle, they're sacrificing a cat or a dog. So I'm sorry, it's nothing very, very funny, but it's not. That has nothing to do with it. In 2013, in June 2013, because it was the first time it had happened to me, they took my picture and my name down to the temple and then come back and I had 3 days to live. Now, I must have been a cheap spell, because they gave me 3 days. And that was in June 2013. So, that one wasn't very good. And I can tell you that between us all, there will be several times a week that we are taken to the temple and the page is going to go down, we're going to go down and everything. It's not black magic, ladies. It is not black magic. It is not white magic. You reply that you do white magic, don't talk to them in the first place.
Yeah.
So please, 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 don't come to us, don't listen to us. And then, we're telling you what to do. We're telling you to look out for. We're telling you to be careful. And what do we get? This is what you tell them back. That's not what we're here for, is it?
No, you can't ask a scammer if you're a scammer. You can't go back to your internet lover that you've never met and say, well, by the way, Ruth and Pam said this. And what do you think they're going to say? Oh, I'm so sorry. I lied. This has all been a bunch of crap. I've stolen all of your money. I lied. Sorry. No. Everybody else is going to be wrong, including you, but not us. Or not the scammer. So
I'm going to tell you now about somebody that sent a message.
Okay.
Now, this is a little thing that I don't understand, but let me get to the end of it. You'll know exactly what I'm going to say at the end, Pam. I have been in a relationship with a scammer going by Steve Kaufman, using Steve Kaufman, she knows that, for the past 3 years. We seem to be getting a lot of 3 years ones.
A long time.
He has all my banking information. Him and his associates have locked 2, possibly 3 of my bank accounts. Every time I tell him I have no money or I refuse to fetch his cards, he threatens me with suicide, and has a handful of his associates calling to give me a pep talk about all the reasons I should help this wonderful man, which according to them is a gift from God. I have confronted him on several occasions with proof, but he still maintains that he is the one and only. My question is, what should I do?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
You get out of it, you block them and you don't talk to them again. It is as simple as that for that part.
Yeah.
So you've given them 3 bank accounts or more bank accounts because they've locked you out of 2 of them. So there's 2 that's being used for money laundering in your name. That's going to go against you when the FBI come and get you. Now, you know, there's been money on cards, there's been bank accounts. She's been very good over 3 years. This one, she's been really useful. She's allowing them to phone up. Now, I'm sorry, ladies, but Pam, we get it a lot. If they're phoning up, they're a long way from having an American accent.
Oh, yeah.
They're phoning you up with their African accent. And so they say, oh, he's wonderful, he's beautiful, oh, baby, you've got to go back to him, honey. So she does. Why? Why? And you want to know how to end it all and get it all gone out of it? Well, it's just as easy as getting into it. You make your own mind up to do something about it. Yes, when you block them, they can still get to you. Well, I'm sorry, but they shouldn't. But yes, they can try. Yes, they will. You are in control. Not them, you. This is my phone. I control what goes on my phone, not them. Everything they do, and this has been 3 years, has been on a phone to this woman. And she's, by the sound of things, been running a very good money laundering organisation. She's been playing ball with credit cards. And then they keep ringing her up and talking her into doing something else. Well, I'm sorry, but that is being a part of a scammer gang.
Yep.
She knows there's something wrong. She knows who the real man's pictures are. She knows everything's wrong about it and she can't get out of it.
And guess what?
Does she want to get out of it?
The lady that I was talking to, the one that had taken in $800 that the scammer had given her to pay off her bank fees, she's now, in the eyes of the law, she is now considered an employee of the scammer. She's on the payroll books. That's all it takes. $1, $800, $10,000, makes no difference. If you've taken money in and kept it for yourself, you are now considered a part of the scam and an employee.
And your name is on the account.
Yep. There's only one person's name on the account.
So I actually agree with the person who's just said that she doesn't want to cut the ties. And again, we go back to Pam's favorite thing, addiction.
Yep. It's because they are addicted. And I will again give you my time and help you get out of it and be successful. As long as you are willing to break the ties, then contact me. I will give you the tools necessary to break you from this. Listen to me. I mean, do I sound like I am easily persuaded anymore? I tell you what, it happened to me one time. It'll be a cold day in hell before it ever happens again. I will get you to that point. Just contact the page. Let me know you want help getting out. I will be there for you.
And it's sometimes, you know, it's not easy because sometimes we're telling you what well, very often, we're telling you what you don't want to hear. Now, the thing is that you got into the scam. You shouldn't have done, but you know that, and plenty of people do. Let's not judge that. You did. But the thing is that in your own life, you are in control. Every single bit of information that is yours is yours. So you are in control. And they haven't got the power over you. They have during the scam. It's good night, baby. It's good morning, honey. It's, you know, all the usual lovely bits in between and the little romance and, you know, your teeth are like stars, they come out at night, you know. But, you know, once you actually break that chain, once you actually, you know, really do. Yeah, if anybody wants to chat to us, the best place is the Facebook page because mostly we're hanging about there. There's messages. Come to the Facebook page. There's a little blue thing on the top that says message, and just come onto there. It'll be Sophie, it'll be myself, it'll be Pam. You know, they can just get us to the message board. It is completely confidential. When I'm talking to you, it is me and you. and there it's, you know, that's it. And oh yeah, have you eaten yet? They keep asking that, don't they? And how are the weather conditions over there? Well, oh hi. Oh look, mine. The dogs are out and the pets are asleep. Oh, oh, he's beautiful. So yeah, you know, it's and yeah, they will use your profile. They will use your pictures. They use mine. So they will do it. You know, they're gonna steal things. How many times have we had grandmas coming to us, and they've had, you know, profiles sent to them, and their grandchildren are there in the profile as motherless children, while Scam Boy is looking for a mother for them. So yeah, come to the one at the bottom, Danila, but I can't pronounce your name, darling. But if you do, come on the Facebook page, or if you want to come on the Instagram page after this, they'll give me a shout and I'll come on to messages on there. So I'll talk to you on there as well. Yeah, it's better to set your profile to private, because then they can't see who your followers are. They can't see your pictures. But basically then, don't accept strangers. Because it's such a simple thing. But don't accept strangers. So please, you know, we're going to start 2021 with common sense. And we're going to keep going with common sense, aren't we, Pam?
Yep, going to keep drilling it in. And you know, a lot of this is just education. So it's time to start. I mean, you're forwarding these cute little things on Facebook and stuff to your friends, and they're going viral. You know what? Let's get the message out there. Let's get it going. And what's the message? How about any time that you receive a friend request from a stranger, don't talk, don't respond.
Yeah. And just think about it. So we know there are tens of thousands of scammers. We know that. Anecdotally, they will tell you 70 to 80% of young men in the major cities in West Africa are scamming. I believe that, actually. If you saw what we know about the volume of scams, you would actually believe that. But can you actually think about what it would be if they didn't get the response? You know, because they send, and I get them all the time. And normally I'll say reported fake or goodbye. Why? Have I upset you? I am not going to harm you. Now, the last talk that we had, Pam sort of said a lot about the word trust. And two things they will say to you right at the beginning is, I have not come to harm you. Yes, I have. Please trust me. And that's the worst. Honestly, I hate that word. I really do.
I know.
Because they want you to trust. Saying that word, that's a lovely little magic word. Well, he wouldn't say that if I couldn't trust him. So yeah, they have come to harm you, and don't trust them. Yeah, and just, you know, just don't. If they were sat there and they had nobody to talk to, or fewer people to talk to, we'll never get it stopped.
Exactly.
But if they had fewer people to talk to,
take the audience away, they have nobody. So take away the people that they are harming, and they have nobody but themselves. Would love to see them scam themselves. Little pieces of garbage. I had a friend request this morning, first one of the year. I'm not sure exactly, didn't strike me as his typical Nigerian scammer, but I got a hello, what is your country? And I told him, I said, it's not like I'm from your area, so what's up? Why are you sending me a friend request? We don't even speak English. And then he said, I just want to make friends to other countries. That's all. Are you angry? And I said, ugh, you sound like the average scam boy. And he said, scam boy? How did I scam you? Ugh, it's ridiculous. There is no reason to respond to these people. I told him to piss off, and he called me a psycho. Yeah, okay.
She is, honestly, she is one. They just know her. But yeah, I mean, you know, you get this thing all Facebook's for making friends all around the world. No, it's not. No, it's not at all. It's for keeping in touch with people that you know. And you are so right. Without an audience, there is no show. So
Right.
don't give them the audience. And please don't come to me and tell me you play with scammers, because you just get me angry, and I don't like to be angry.
Let's talk about that for just a second. Why is it so bad? Because, and I've got quite a few people to go, I didn't think of it that way. So let me give you my opinion on it. Every time you talk to a scammer, whether you didn't realize it in the beginning and then afterwards decided, oh, it is a scammer, I think I'm just going to go and play. You teach that person how to be better. If it's a male or a female, you teach them what your gender likes and dislikes. So you are teaching them how to scam better. So my opinion is, be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. And when you play around with scammers, it is being a part of the problem. So use your time wisely. Let's chop their balls off. I mean, this is not fun and games. No, not fun and games at all. $28,357,983. This is not fun and games. This is serious business. And it's a crime.
And we get people all the time who come to us and say, oh, but he was good. He was really, really good. He spoke English really well. Yep. He knew lots and lots of American slang. Well, how do you think he knows lots and lots of American slang? Because don't let them fool you. They're not sat there watching American movies. They are getting it from you. And so they are being taught. And also, they've got, oh, I didn't get anything from her, but I am really good now. I'm going to go on to the next one. And don't think that when you are talking to them, it's one-to-one. Don't think, well, I'm wasting his time, because while he's talking to me, he's not talking to anybody else. Yes, he is. He's talking to 99 others, because his little team sat in the room, huddled around that Wi-Fi with all the little stolen laptops. They've got a list of women on their WhatsApp, on their Hangouts or whatever, and they are talking to those women all the time. So you are absolutely not wasting 1 second of his time.
How about this one? How about the people that are chatting with that person you've never met before, and they verbally abuse you? And why you stay and continue on is another whole psychology group to begin with. But stop the abuse, stop the verbal abuse. It makes no difference.
We get a lot of that, don't we? If I say I'm not going to send, or I say I'm not going to do anything, he gets really angry. And why? Why?
And then they get punished. Then they get punished. And what's the punishment? Silence. Their lover has given them silence. That's the punishment that you get for not doing as you're requested. Sending the money or going to take in money. You get punished, and 5 days can go by and you don't hear from your internet lover. Come on, folks. It's time to wake up. It's time to break the addiction and the cycle and the hold that these evil people have over you. It's time. I mean, we've got to start this new year off scam free.
Yeah, and we've got to start getting together and doing something about it, because, we can't do it on our own. Nobody can. But if we can get enough people to just have some common sense, who just know what it is all about, and it can't be nice being scammed, being so reliant on a text message coming, going to the bank all the time to send money. We get so many families coming to us. Can you help us? My elder sister's being scammed. My mum's being scammed. I've got one on at the moment who an 85-year-old woman is being scammed by a David Patchmore. He's just on Google. I've just got it just before I came on to you. She's 85. Yeah. She's sending money to a man's pictures who's been used for the last 10 years. And he is saying to her that he's real. And she is, at 85, she is believing it. And it's a family that's getting hurt. Oh, and another thing we can talk about as well. The guy that keeps coming to us, his wife is madly in love with Chris Hemsworth. You might not recognize the name, but if you know the Avenger movies, he's Thor in the Avenger movie. Oh. Yeah, I've got men in my family. It's only men. I'm the only woman. So I know all about the Avenger movies. But yeah, he's Thor in the Avenger movies. You know, big good looking bloke. He's Australian, you know, sexy as anything. Now, this woman's been married 10 years. She's got 4 kids. She's leaving her husband for a Hollywood star. The Hollywood star has a very active Instagram account. And on there, he's just put that he's just had the 10-year anniversary with his wife. She's been looking at this account, and you know what? She asked the scammer about it. And he said, I only do this for the management company makes me do it for it to look good for Hollywood. Actually, I want to marry you. And, you know, don't you think the Hemsworths look alike? I thought that when I looked him up. But no, so
Gosh, yeah.
She is telling her husband, poor husband is sat there looking after 4 kids, 4 children, a 10-year marriage. And she thinks she thinks Chris Hemsworth is madly in love with her, and she's been sending money. They've got around that I know about 7,000 out of her at the moment. They will get more. I mean, the 7,000 was for when he was supposed to come home earlier in the year, and he didn't.
And just think, her children could have used that $7,000 for God only knows what, you know.
Children are going to lose mom because mom's planning on leaving and going off with the Hollywood star.
How many times have we heard that?
And
this lady, I asked her about her, because this one that I talked to, the last one yesterday, she's also married. And I said, did your scammer say that he's going to marry you? And she said, yes. And I said, have you filed for divorce? And she said, no, that the general wanted her to wait until he got there. And I said, oh, how about that? A scammer with a conscience. He actually, this time, he didn't want you to file for divorce. But I've seen so many of them that the scammers say, I'm not coming until you get rid of your spouse. And they do. They file for divorce. And now that's even worse. I mean, talk about being stripped naked and in the cold and have nothing, and literally nothing, not even your internet lover, because they will never be coming. It's just not happening. This is business. This is about money and power and control. It's not about your fantasy that you've got stuck in your head. So.
And you know, we can say it as much as we like, and we do say it all the time, 1,000 times a day, he's fake. Now, we'll tell you why he's fake. I'm not going to just say he's fake, stop talking to him, bye. We'll tell you why he's fake. We'll also probably get mad at you and tell you why you should stop talking to him. But we need to hammer it home to you. Mm-hmm. If we shout at you, it comes from here. It's because we care. And it's frustrating when we lose people, isn't it?
It is. It's hard. It's hard. It really is. You know, I mean, I feel good that I think I've got this lady out. I'll give it a try for the 87-year-old grandmother and see what I can do for her. But it's horrible when
I'm gonna pass the 85 over to you.
All right, I'll take her.
Yeah.
See what I can do.
He's quite well. I think he's easy to prove, but yeah, you're good with those ones.
And I wanted to touch base about family members, the ones that are watching all of this happen. And my best advice is on that is, even though you've probably already had so many shouting matches with the loved one that is going through this, and I realize that you don't really understand what's going on. It goes well beyond the, how could you be so stupid? It's so obvious, blah, blah, blah.
Don't do it. Don't say it.
I felt so bad. I almost had the opportunity to talk to a lady that she was being scammed for many years and lost so much money. We're talking over 100,000. And her daughter drove to her mom's house and had her 13-year-old daughter there. And something happened. The mother opened up the door. They had a screaming match. Her granddaughter was down there, hadn't seen her grandma in months, and she was bawling her eyes out. And the victim had said, stay out of my business, slammed the door, and that was that. So I told her, I feel her pain, but just let it go for now. I don't know what's going to happen to her family, but there's sometimes you can't undo it. You know, there's sometimes we can't.
if you
So,
think about it, I have two sons, and my youngest, when he was little, when he was sort of 3, 4, 5, if I said to him, "Don't do that," he'd put his hand out. "Don't touch that." He'd put his hand out and touch it with a sort of like look on his face as if to say, "You're not going to tell me." It's very similar when you get an older person, isn't it?
yeah.
Because it's like them saying, "Don't you tell me what to do, I'm going to do it anyway." So if you are so frustrated with that person, really, really, really frustrated, and you are hating what is happening, keep it inside. Hate outside, hate away. Talk to other members of the family, but don't put that onto the victim, because you are going to have the same as when you've got a little child. You're going to push them away.
Doing more
Because
harm than good.
yeah,
It really
you
is.
you're going to push them away. You can get through it. You can get through it by not understanding. Tell them you don't understand, but you are being a lot more calm about it, because you are only, if you get mad, you're pushing them back to the scammer, aren't they?
Exactly. And most of the time, the door gets slammed in your face. So, don't fault them for what's going on. Yes, they should have known better. And many have some psychological issues. Many of them are just so far into the scam, they cannot get out. And you represent taking away their joy and their happy. So they will fight you tooth and nail. And that's why we come in and we say, let us be the bad guys. Let me be the one that
Yeah.
tells them this has all been a horrible lie and nobody's coming. I'll be the bad guy. I don't mind. But another thing, my conversation about what they are experiencing and going through will always be different than someone who hasn't gone through it, meaning the family members or friends. So
Yeah.
pass them off to us. Let us give it our try. It's better than, losing them completely, threatening to take the grandchildren away, threatening to take the children away. It's just making it worse. Just take a
And
step
then they're
back.
going to go to the scammer, and they're going to go to the scammer and say, "My daughter's been here today, and she's been awful to me. She's shouted at me. She's never going to let me see my grandchildren again. It's really awful." What is the scammer going to do? "I love you, honey. I would never do that to you. I'm going to look after you for the rest of your life. You will never have this again. In fact, let's move away. Let's move well away from them. You stay with me, and I will love you for the rest of your life." Divide and conquer. Your scammer, with your help, is driving you apart. So then he becomes your best friend. And then
Their only friend.
Yes, your only friend. And they will say all the right words, and your family will be losing their rag at you, and they'll be shouting at you. So who's going to win? Nice little scam boy saying he loves you so much and he's going to look after you for the rest of your life. You've got nothing else to worry about. Or your family saying, "Don't be such a stupid old fool. You're making a fool of yourself. Get out of it." You might think that. And just for the record, they're actually not making a fool of themselves, and they're not being stupid, because in their life, in their head, this is real. It really, really is real.
The only one that's making a fool and being stupid is the victim to the scammer. The scammer is just eating this up. The fact that they are so gullible, that they are so manageable, that they're powerless. So the victim is the only fool in the eyes of the scammer.
Yeah. So, it might be frustrating if you've got a family member being scammed. But remember that she would not do this if she did not believe absolutely, totally. And also, there was a time when she was your mom. There was a time when you lived with her, when she brought you up, when she had your dinner on the table ready for you coming in from school, when she picked you up when you fell down and grazed your knee. That is still the same person who is being scammed.
Yeah.
So you loved her then. Underneath, you love her. So try and just do it in a different way, and something else I'm going to say, because we're sort of running out of time, but Pam and I both have done now interviews, live chats. I don't call them interviews because I've got no talent, but we've both done live chats with victims. And do you know how well these live chats with victims have been received? Absolutely brilliantly. We have had lots of feedback.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had Julie just before Christmas, and, do you know, we've had lots of feedback with that. Somebody there's just on about publish my story on Instagram. Come to me, write it all out for me. Come to me and I'll do that. If anybody would like to talk to us on a live chat, then please come and talk to us. And one of us will come on a live chat with you. And you can tell people what your experience is, because it helps. It really, really does help. Money Canada, it really, really does help. And, you know, it's, I think people get surprised. I know Julie was surprised at the amount of sympathy they get, don't they? Because it's like, they think they're going to be made to look, no, they feel stupid, so they're going to be made to look stupid. They come on and they've got over that barrier. They've realized they're not stupid. They've realized they're a victim. A victim means you've had something bad done to you, not you've done something bad to yourself. So they come on and talk to us, and they are empowering other women not to be victims. Mm-hmm. And I've got the most amazing admiration for them. I really, really do. Anybody that wants to do that, contact us.
Yep, I'll do it.
It can be, you know, you want Pam more than me or me more than Pam, that's fine. You know, we don't mind. Sadly, Pam still works. I'm going to rub that in because she hates it, because I'm retired.
I'm retired so bad.
She's only young, see, so she works.
I'm available in the evening times and on the weekends. But yeah, I'll give my time. I mean,
yes, please do. So the lady that's coming up there, yeah. So yeah, we'll talk and we'll arrange something. I think we've talked already, haven't we? But yeah, we will arrange something. And just from the people that we know who've done it, because, you know, people have done it with media and things like that. It's not just on here with us. They've got something out of it. They've come off it with a buzz. They've come off it feeling empowered. And it's like, well, you're not going to get me again. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to help you not getting anybody else.
Right.
So let's get out there, loud and proud.
Spread the message, get your friends and family to also learn about this, teach your children how to coexist with the evils that are out on the internet. Help us help your family members or friends that are stuck right now. Let us see what we can do for them. Gosh, I just hope 2021 is going to turn out differently. I really do. I just have this funny, horrible fright that it's not, but I want to try to be optimistic. And
I want to try and get some more media coverage as well, because we've had some good media coverage, but it needs more, because they can get to a lot more people than we can. So that's one thing I'm going to be pushing for, to try and get, you know, even if it's just local news people. We did the Boston one, we did the Wisconsin one. You know, even if it's just a local news station telling their area. You know, so if anybody would like to write to the local news station saying, hey, you should have something on there about scammers, get them to us and we'll fill them in and we'll, you know, do everything we can. But this has got to be the year that we stop keeping it to ourselves.
For all of you that are talking to a scammer that have given out your personal information, specifically even bank accounts, I'd like you to contact us or just recognize what we're saying. Get to the bank and close those accounts immediately. Immediately. Yep. Anybody that's taking in merchandise and then being told to move it out, come to me and I'll help you get out successfully of this and steer you, hopefully give you some coaching on what to do next. Oh gosh, it's heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking.
It is. But, you know, it's January the 1st, it's 2021, and by God, by the time we get to December 31st, 2021, I want us to have made a massive difference.
I hope so.
So I'm going to go now. I'm going to
Okay.
say thank you, everybody. I'm going to say thank you to Pam, because I'm going to leave her now to download this onto the page.
Okay.
And we'll see you next week when Pam's off.
See
Goodbye,
you when.
everybody.
Bye, Ruth. Thank you. Okay, Ruth is gone, so I'll go ahead and finish this up, and then she can have the video and save it to the page and download it. So I'm hoping that we have helped, hopefully many, many more people recognize this, give you the tools to get out of this. So again, come to the Facebook page, look at the message button, ask for some help. Please don't be embarrassed to ask. It is private chat. It is an absolute private chat between us and you, not anybody else. We never divulge victims' information to the rest of the world. That absolutely is nothing. It would never happen. And I'm still looking for people that are into the Money Mule part of it. Let me help you with this. You're not going to get in trouble from me. I don't work for law enforcement. I do have law enforcement background. I can get you out of this successfully. So give us a contact on the Facebook page. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and turn it over to Ruth. She can download it and save it. And hopefully we're going to have a much better 2021. And talk to you all later. Bye.